What is up, LEGO fans, and welcome back to Locked in LEGO, where today we'll be kicking off my YouTube channel by doing a complete overview of every, or almost every, LEGO Phase 2 Clone Trooper that they have made. The one exception that I don't have is the Phase 2 Wolfpack Trooper, but that shouldn't really be a problem because he doesn't really have an older comparison. So basically what we're going to do, you have the nice overview here, and then we're going to go into detail for each individual Legion so you can see the up-close comparison. So without further ado, let's get into this. Starting us off, we have the 501st Legion, which consists of the 501st Legion Clone Trooper and LEGO Captain Rex. The 501st Clone Trooper appeared in two sets. Set 75002, the ATRT, released in 2013. The Z95 Headhunter, set 75004, also released in 2013. And Captain Rex came with the Bark Speeder with Sidecar, set 75012, also released in 2013. Taking a closer look at the detail on each of these figures, we can see that they are pretty well printed. They both share the same base torso and leg designs, although Captain Rex does feature some battle damage, his pull drawn right there, and some different knee pad printing. The 501st Trooper does have the standard 501st markings on there, and Captain Rex has his famous designs right here, along with some tick marks along the side to show how many battles he's been in. And taking a look underneath the helmets, they both have the classic Clone Wars style faces, which they had on all the Phase 1 troopers, which is quite different from the Angry Clone face that we have come to love so much from LEGO. And Captain Rex does feature his bearded face, which appeared on his Phase 1 minifigure. One thing to note about these figures, they were only available in this Clone Wars type style because, as you know, they're only featured on the Clone Wars and for a little bit in Episode 3, but we have not gotten a movie version of the 501st yet. On the back, they both share the same printing. For the most part, Captain Rex does have some additional battle damage, though. Up next, we just have your standard clone troopers, kind of like the backbone of the Republic. And we have the original version, which came out in, I believe, 2005 in the Clone Turbo Tank set 7261. And later the Clone Troopers Battle Pack, which came out in 2007, which was set 7655. And then here we have the newer version, the 2015 version, I want to say. And he came in the Microfighters Clone Turbo Tank set 75028. In terms of the detailing on these figures, we can see the new version is a complete upgrade of the old version, basically. Its torso printing is newer, cleaner, and sleeker, and it features light printing, which is something 2005 figures did not even have. Taking a look at the helmets here, the 2005 version features the see-through helmet, so you can see through to their black head underneath, which gives the appearance of a visor. And the newer version features the completely closed-off helmet with their standard angry clone face underneath of it. On the back side of these figures, we can see the same case as the front. The back printing on the newer figure is just better, cleaner, and has more detail. Up next, we have the 91st Reconnaissance Corps, which consists of the 91st Reconnaissance Trooper and Commander Neo. One thing to note, however, on the set that Commander Neo comes with, he is not labeled as Commander Neo. He is labeled as Bark Trooper, which, I mean, if you're a Star Wars fan, we could probably assume that it's most likely Commander Neo. So this trooper right here came out in 2005 in set 7250, the Clone Scout Walker, and then the Bark Trooper came out in the Battle of Seleucami set 2014, set 75037. Taking a closer look at the detailing on these figures, we can see that the 2014 version made a lot of improvements compared to the 2005 version. First of all, the most obvious thing is that they did a lot of improvements to the torso piece and gave him a red arm. Like you can see that he has this shoulder strap now, which is pretty cool. They both share the 91st markings on their helmet and center of chest, except Neo actually has one on his leg too because he has leg printing. And like I said before, 2005 figures did not have leg printing. So their helmets too, this one features the see-through helmet like the other Clone Trooper with the black head underneath. And Commander Neo actually features a very cool like reconnaissance type helmet with the angry clone face underneath. Turning these figures around, we can see there's quite a bit of change that went on between these two figures. This one features some very simple printing with a little bit of hints of red there. Well, this one features no red, but its printing is much better. The utility belt is much cleaner, and it does feature this strap. as you can see on the front. Up next, we have the shock troopers of the 65th Clone Legion, also known as the Coruscant Guard. And basically it features a movie version and a Clone Wars rendition of the shock trooper. And the movie version came out first in 2007 in the Clone Trooper Battle Pack, and then it also featured an edition with white legs, which came out in 2008, the AT-AP Walker 7671. And then this trooper was available in 2014 in set 75046, the Coruscant Police Gunship. There's a lot of major differences with the detailing between these two figures. Obviously, this one does not feature red arms like it does in this one. And this one features the more Clone Wars, the more cartoony type armor, which this one does not have. This one has some leg printing, which is actually pretty nice. Again, non-existent on the old figures. But in terms of overall detail, they're actually pretty similar. They have the red chest pieces right here and the red utility belt. This one's just a little more animated to fit the Clone Wars type style. And their helmet design very similar, has the same markings here, up here, and the same general pattern, except this one again is the Clone Wars style. Taking a look underneath, the black head with the see-through helmet, and this one, the classic clone helmet, the old style Clone Wars face. But yeah, pretty solid figures. And on the back side, pretty similar. They both feature the red waistband there with the thermal detonator on there. And basically the only difference is this one is just, the newer one's kind of just more enhanced and just looks a little bit better. Up next we have the 212th Attack Battalion and the 327th Star Corps. And the only reason I grouped these two legions together is because of some of the controversy over the figures. These two up front here came with the Utapau Troopers set 75036, released in 2014. And because of their orange coloring and the fact that they were like the only ones involved on the Utapau assault, they're obviously 212 troopers. This guy back here, released in 2007 in the Clone Troopers Battle Pack. On the package, it labels him as a Star Corps trooper, and the 327th was a Star Corps, so obviously he's got to be like that mixed with the coloring. He's obviously part of the 327th. The only reason I say there's controversy behind that is because in the LEGO Star Wars 1 video game for GameCube, they give this character a Poldron, and they name him Clone Commander Cody, which is the leader of the 212th, as you probably know. So, but for our purposes, his coloring, and because that's what he's labeled Star Corps Trooper on the package, we're going to call him a Star Corps Trooper. So the real controversy comes in with this figure right here, who came in the Umbaran Mobile Heavy Cannon set 75013, released in 2013. And on the package, he is labeled as a 212 Trooper. Now, as you can tell, his coloring is much more similar to the 327th Trooper than it is to the Utapau Trooper. Now, a lot of people criticize LEGO on this because they're like, oh, they got the colorway wrong. Well, I have to disagree with them there, because if you go back and you watch the Umbaran arc, where the 212 were involved, the Clone Wars style animation has a much lighter orange color than it does in the movie. So I think the LEGO designers were really just trying to capture the Clone Wars feel, which is why they gave it this lighter color. And so on its own, he looks fine as a 212 Trooper. It's just you only get a problem when you put him up next to these movie renditions of him. A quick look at the detailing on these figures. As you can see, these two basically share the same exact printing, except this one is more movie-like and has some battle damage, and this one is very animated. This figure has some great detailing on it, especially this the shoulder strap and the leg printing with the knee pad. And back here, this one's just like the standard old Clone Trooper with some yellow highlights and a little bit of printing underneath his head. Taking the helmets off of these figures, two angry clone faces. Back here, just one of the animated Clone Trooper faces, and then just a black head on that guy, so a see-through visor. Another quick look at the backs of these figures. Now these three all basically feature the same kind of printing, basically, except this one doesn't have the orange back here, and it has the strap. And also you can kind of see his hip cloth. I forget what it's called. It's like a comma or something. I don't know. And then back here on this guy, you can see just the very tip of a printed on a Poldron piece. Moving on, we have the Geonosis clone troopers, which were really only featured in one set, the Geonosis troopers set 75089. And really, there's just not that much to note about these figures. They're basically just like reprints of these two guys, just with like a little bit different like camo printing on there. But yeah, nothing too spectacular about these guys. Nothing to compare them to. On this side, we just got the angry clone face, and on this side, we have something a little new, the calm clone face. And then on the back here, like I said earlier, nothing really new, just kind of reprints of the older figures, so yeah, that's all. So up next, we have our Phase 2 pilots, but technically this guy he doesn't have Phase 2 armor, you know, that like looks like this, but he was featured in Episode 3, so we'll just go ahead and keep him in this video. This figure right here, first came out in 2005 in the ARC 170 Starfighter, set 7259, and then later came out in the V-Wing Fighter in 2006, set 6205. And for this figure over here, he actually had a couple different versions that came out with like a little bit different printing on the helmet. This one is from the Micro Fighter set, set 75072, which was released in 2015, but it first came out in the newer ARC 170 Starfighter, the one that came out in 2010, set 8088. So comparing these figures, they basically feature like almost the same arm and leg color. This one's a little bit more blue, and this one's pretty much gray. The torso printing is practically the same, except this one is a few years newer, so it's a little bit different and better. The helmet design on this guy is actually pretty nice. It features some pretty cool and unique designs, and his head underneath is just a calm clone with a orange visor on it. You can see it through the helmet though. And then on this side, it's just a pretty cool pilot design with the see-through visor, so you can see his black head underneath. And then on the back, they have pretty similar designs. They both have the kind of like the V strap back there, and then the altered clone back printing piece. So finishing up here, we have the 41st Elite Corps, consisting of Commander Gree as their captain, and the Kashyyyk Trooper and like the Scout Trooper here. So you can actually get these figures through a variety of sets. I think they span across 5 different sets. The Kashyyyk Trooper here coming in the Homing Spider Droid set 75142 in 2016, and the Kashyyyk Troopers Battle Pack set 75035 in 2014. This guy also came in the Kashyyyk Troopers Battle Pack, but he can also be found in the Droid Gunship set 75042, came out in 2014, and the Clone Turbo Tank, which came out in 2016, set 75151. And then Commander Gree here in the middle came out in the Clone Turbo Tank, same as this guy. And also the AT-AP came out in 2014, set 75043. So a lot of ways to get these guys. So we're going to take a quick look at the detailing on these figures. Basically I'll just feature this nice camo design. Commander Gree's being a little bit darker because he's the captain. And they all have the same green colored visor, this one just being a little different. And yeah, they all feature the same printing really, just with different color variations. So that's pretty cool. Underneath the helmets, I believe they are all just your standard angry clone faces. Yes, even Commander Gree, he is a clone. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the front designs. On the back, we get a little bit of variation. We can see that this guy doesn't have the standard clone thing. He's got a little bit of detailing right there, but thermal detonator. This figure doesn't have the standard utility belt. He has the Scout Trooper belt with a backpack that's printed on, so it doesn't really look that much like a backpack. And then Commander Gree up front here, he's got really different back design. He's got 2 thermal detonators here and 2 of the straps that continue onto the front. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing. It goes a long way. And why don't you comment your favorite LEGO Clone Trooper down in the comments below, and we'll see you next time. Bye.